here's the deal. We are going to, now that we've cut all our pieces, and if you've sanded them, the next thing is to do layout. All right, the layout is probably one of the trickier parts, so please pay close attention as we rock through this, okay? So this is probably one of the last times you're gonna see my face because I want you to focus here, and let's watch how this is done. Okay, you should have one of your sanded pieces, one of your long pieces will have been sanded on this edge and this edge. That is the one that you are going to use for the middle of your back. The one that did not get sanded on both of those is going to be the shelf, right? We're just going to sand the front two parts of the shelf. So we'll set the shelf aside at the moment. Don't mind the fact that I have holes in here already. We're going to go through this. This is going to be the general layout, right? We're going to have one of each. And, but how do we know where they go, right? The way that Mr. Coop designed this project was this is going to be 2 inches lower than that point, and then this is 2 inches lower than that point. Okay, so what you're going to do is just on this board and these two boards, go ahead and mark 2 inches, and you can do this lightly, right, so that you don't have to spend a lot of time sanding later. Then you're going to take those crow's feet marks, and really the marks only need to be right at the end that it's joining up to. This one you'll have the 2-inch mark all the way across. This one can just be right there so that once this is lined up against this one, boop, this one can be lined up against that one, boop, again, right there, and this one to that mark right there. Now these are perfectly symmetrical. Okay, so 2-inch mark, 2-inch mark, 2-inch mark, line them up. That's step one. Now that you're here, we're going to go to step number 2. The shelf is going to be centered here, right? So what we are likely going to find is, what I like is about a 1.5 inches up. So we'll measure 1.5 inches up off of here. Okay, and your pieces might move around when you do this, so we'll have to replace them. 1.5 and a crow's foot. Other side, 1.5 inches and a crow's foot. Now I would line them back up, make sure everything is dialed in, and I want you to take your speed square, set it nice and flush on the edge there. And this is going to give you your bottom mark, so the bottom of your shelf. And just do it gently so it's less visible once you get the shelf on, and you could sand it off easier. Okay, both sides. Okay, and you don't need to go all the way to the end because the shelf doesn't go all the way to the end. So you can set that now right where it's meant to go. And I don't know if you can tell from this camera angle, but there's less space here and more space here. We want to make those equal. Plan for 1 inch and 1 inch. Make sure it's equal. If it's not, adjust it until they are equal. When it's equal and equal, you can then make a mark here on the ends, real gentle like. And then go ahead and also make your mark all the way along here. So this is telling us where our shelf is going to be located on those pieces. Again, don't mind these holes. That was from a prior experiment. Pretend those were gone. And pretend your pieces were already sanded on the corners so that you have the roundover. Now, just double check. You got lines everywhere so you know where it is on each board. It should, voila. Look like that, all right? The next thing is to make marks for where we're going to drill our pre-drill holes, okay? So I would also do this. Let's just label these A, B, C, D, E. Now they'll all go back in the same place. So on each board you want to make 2 marks for 2 screws. And you want to make them at least 3/4 of an inch from any edge. So I'm going 3/4 inches in here and making a vertical mark. 3/4 inch in here, making a vertical mark. Okay, so do that on each of your boards. Start with a vertical mark at 3/4 of an inch in. Then you can also center your marks in here. It's going to be 3/8 of an inch from the line, because 3/8 is half of 3/4. And once you get one set of crosshairs. That's a centered line. Then you can actually set it up next to the other ones and use that to get all your other center lines. Whoop. There you go. Now you know all the places where you're going to drill through.